And again, right here, can't see. And we're at 100%. Brakes. Cool. Probably do a third headland at this end, and that should be wide enough to get the bit I missed or was unable to get because the thing was full. Of course, the problem there is you're on flat ground. Transitioning to a hill. Insufficient. Okay. And set for another row. Let's have a look at the map. I'm getting all the rocks I need to get, so that's a good thing. I think I should be okay scooping, so long as I can get the dirt flying animation. There you go. So the main question, was it quicker? I honestly don't know. I mean, it does take time to turn those rock pickers around, especially the cheaper ones. If we go to stone pickers, this one obviously the easiest because it picks up both sides, but you've only got 2,000 litre capacity. This one has a much larger capacity, but it's offset to the side, so it can be very difficult to line that up. Plus 200 horsepower, 100 horsepower. We can use that one, we can use that one. That one's outside our horsepower range, which would be a problem for us. But to lease this is 2,600. Now I think we paid 2,000 for the bucket, but the bucket is permanently ours now. So if we ever have problems with rocks, and I can envisage either buying a field that needs to be ploughed at this stage, or buying a field that has been ploughed and is thus adulterated with rocks. And obviously we've got the equipment to be able to fix that problem immediately, and it's not going to cost us additional money to do it. We're not going to have a £2,000 lease bill to clear out the rocks. And obviously, as I was saying, for us, lime production right now is not really a thing. I don't want to buy a lime production facility and have that on hand, because right now we've only got 2 fields and we're not going to be picking rocks off them anytime soon. So why would I want to spend money on a production facility that I'm not using? Now, I do need to lime this field, and it would be nice to convert these rocks into lime. But to be fair, it's kind of an it's probably more expensive to get the lime production and just have it sitting around doing nothing than it is to buy the lime right now. And as I said, as we progress, we are going to need to lime our fields. And so the more fields we have, the more costly lime is to purchase. So maybe having lime production available, and in addition to that, we're skipping. In addition to having lime production, also planting crops that need to be ploughed after harvest. It's kind of like the whole thing we had going on in Oakfield Farm of creating silage not because we needed to, but because we could sell it, and we had the grass fields available, or in our case the clover fields available, and it just made sense to do that, sell it at the BGA primarily for the slurry, so that we got free fertilizer on our fields. Now this playthrough we're probably looking at cows, not the coming year but the following year, and maybe pigs sometime after that as well. And going that way gives us access to manure, slurry, and all the fun things, which we can then supplement fertilizing our fields with. There you go. It's better. And I have 0 steering. And sometimes I do. Okay. Not sure if there's any rocks down this end. Doesn't look like it. So that should be completely done. So the only red on this field, oh, there's a little bit there. Go and see if we can find that bit. I'm not sure that's a rock or I missed the ploughing on it. I didn't see any rocks driving up this way. Still up in front of us to the left. Oh no. So that's a bit I missed ploughing the field for. So there's going to be the inability to fertilize that tiny plot and thus increase the yield. And that's fine. And you can tell this weight's designed for the front since it has white lights on it. Okay, I'm going to stick this back in the grass. Drop. So interestingly, bucket is blue, which means it's activated, which is kind of amusing. Okay, gonna drop this over the rest of the stuff there, just because not going to be used for a while, and I'm guessing we're going to want the bale fork much sooner. Oh, why did you come off? Looks like the weight fell over too. It's no big there. Possibly do with some lights in the yard. Anyway, let's see how many rocks we have. I guessed around 3,000. It's probably a bit less than that. Do that instead. 2,869. I think what we might do, we'll look up where to sell these. We'll get rid of them now. Oh, where are they? State stones at the bottom, debris crusher 49, tag play snap. That kind of looks like the store. Go in there, round the back, maybe. Guess we're going to find out. Turn the rear work lights off, all the work lights off. Dakings 113. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I know that I wanted to try out the bucket. It's kind of cheap. One of the arguments I have is I'm going to make £300 selling these rocks, which doesn't even cover the cost of the bucket. It definitely doesn't cover the cost of leasing stone pickers. So, yeah, part of my argument was that the bucket is a cheap solution and is permanently available for me when I start dealing in crops that need to be ploughed in after harvest. But outside of that, this is probably the only time I'm going to use that for now. And I didn't have a bucket. The stone pickers I can run on this tractor do not have the capacity to move 2,800 litres of stones. And I don't have a shovel to shovel them off the ground, and it's a fair trip down to the store to sell them, which adds time that you're leasing the stone collector for. I mean, it's 10:15, so we're into the second hour right now. That would have cost me another 1,000 more, so total cost on a stone picker would have been about 3,000 to 4,000. And with limited amounts of money and limited income right now, it's save money where I can. And I know there is a stone picker mod that gives you, 78,000 pounds of, 78,000 tons of, or 78 tons of pickup capability. But also it's very expensive for the unrealistic setting on that mod. Good grief, we are struggling with this weight. I'll give it that. But it's that reflects in the leasing cost too. But as I've said, the problem is you start from scratch. You've got limited amounts of land. You've got limited amounts of money. You've got limited amounts of equipment. We haven't really burnt into our possibly down here. We haven't burnt into our loan yet. It's still only 200,000. Which is a good thing, I think. And okay, here we are. So we'll know where to come back to next time. And yes, I could turn stones off, because obviously using stones is expensive. 150 bucks. Not bad, I guess. Not great. But it doesn't cover the costs of doing all the equipment we needed for that. However, it will cover the cost of running equipment over it and the added repair costs that will incur doing so. And the bucket might come in useful when we start doing sugar beets. Or potatoes. Anyway, looks good. It's 5:30, so we're coming to the end of the day. And I do have 2 fields to plant, which we can do tomorrow. So I think game plan is we'll go back to the house, we'll sleep. I might buy the cedar. I'm not sure. Ouch, ouch. Problem is I do need a direct drill on it. Or direct drill capability. And I think the direct drills I have are seed and fertilizer. I don't want to add fertilizer at this stage. You get penalized on the environmental score, which we've already discovered now. If you don't use crop sensors, and I'm guessing crop sensors don't work when you don't have a crop in the ground. Now, as far as yield is concerned, turn the lights off you do get perfect application rate. Just using the equipment as is. But, oh, let's not hit the shed wall support. I think we recovered. I don't think anybody noticed how bad that parking is. Let's stick this in here. Can't see a thing through the wall. There we go. Okay. Lights. Why aren't the lights turning off? Because I selected the wrong ones. Engine, exit. Okay, so I'm going to take the Land Rover back to the house. We'll sleep, we'll get up in the morning, and we'll look at seeders, I guess. How about we do that? It's a good plan. Oh, this is going faster than traffic. Now, I'm also playing a little bit of a trial with the weeds here. Still only small. I don't think they'll grow to medium until December, which is a point where I don't think they'll grow at all. Alrighty, it's a new day. We're another $600 down. Sleeping content again. So, our plans today are reseed this with grass, seed that with barley. We might need a weeder at some point to deal with this, but I might basically let the seeder grind in the weeds now and then seed that when the weeds come back. Hopefully I don't need to crop spray it because I really don't want to. So, contracts today, a ton of baling. Ooh, orange tractor. Come on, go back the other way. Tiny. Wow. Do that one, you get an orange tractor. Ultra G, that sucks because it can't attach to that. And we know that, and I've done it twice, so we're not going to do it again. That's awesome, because you get one of those, actually. What are you looking at here? Make silage bales, wrap them. That's a good contract to do. Pricey on the equipment used, but... $24,000 for doing that. That might be something to consider. It'll be $22,000 by the time we've borrowed all the equipment. Well, it's early morning, so no fuss there. So I'm kind of thinking that's a seeder only. I would need to till the ground for that. This one we could do, but not with... I'd be inclined to skip the stuff, the fertilizer. This one, bit narrower, easier to get down the roads, smaller tank, also seed. That's just too big. This we would need to cultivate the ground. That we would need to cultivate the ground. I don't have the Vedastat 6. Yeah, well. So that one's a direct seeder, but again, 240 horse, 270, 210, 300, ooh, 220. So we're down to here, and again, no seeding. So 41,000 to buy that, and it's got, you know, it's a 4.5 meter working width, so it's a bit bigger than this one. But it doesn't direct hitch to the back, so it's trailed. It's not quite so easy to manoeuvre. But I think you get ridge markers. Yes, ridge markers. No, I don't want ridge markers. Solid fertilizer. Oh, I see. That is seed only, and that gives you solid fertilizer on top. We go with seed only. I'm good with that. We'll buy that. It's got 2,026 litres. So we also want to have a couple of bags of seed available when we get there. Just go with the 2 for now. All right. Take it back down to the farm, grab the tractor, go shopping. And then possibly struggle to bring that back. Ooh, after the lamppost. And I think I'm probably okay leaving that there.